So hi guys, my name is Clint from Base Into 2F. So I'm going to discuss about his badminton history, rules, equipment. So let's go. Badminton history. So badminton was invented long ago. Its origin date back at least 2,000 years to the game of battledore and the shuttlecock played in ancient Greece, India and China. Badminton took its name from Badminton House in Gloucestershire, the home of Duke of Beaufort, where the sport was played in the last century. So badminton rules. Badminton is a sport that has been around since the 16th century. So the story is played indoors and the pinnacle comes from the Olympic events. The sport is very popular in Asian countries such as China and India, with these countries leading, by the way, producing some of the world's best players. So, players and equipment. There are two forms of badminton, singles and doubles. It's also possible to play mixed doubles. Each player is allowed to use a string racket, and similar to the tennis racket, but the head being smaller. And the shuttlecock is made up of half a round ball at the bottom and the feather-like material surrounding to the top. You can only really hit the bottom of the shuttlecock, and as gravity comes into play, will always revert the ball side facing down. You may only hit the shuttlecock once before it either hits the ground. So the measures 6.1 meter wide and the court measures 6.1 meter wide and 13.4 meter long. Across the middle of the rectangular court is a net which runs at 1.55 meter. Running along each side of the court are two tram lines. The inside lines are used as the perimeter for a single match, while outside then used for a double match. So, to win the game, you must reach 21 before your opponent. If you do so, then you will have won the set. If the scores are tied at 20-20, then it comes down to whichever player managed to get two clear points ahead. If the points are still tied at 29, then the next point will decide the winner of the set. Winning the overall game will require you to win 2 out of the 3 sets played. Then a game can take place with either 2 singles or doubles for players. An official match has to be played indoors in the proper court dimension. The dimensions are 6.1 meter by 13.4 meter. The net is situated through the middle of the court and is set at 1.55 meter. So, another badminton rules. So, to score a point, the shuttlecock must hit within the parameters of the opponent's courts. So, if the opponent hits the net or lands out, then a point is awarded to your opponent. So, player must serve diagonally across the net to their opponent. As points are won, then serving station move from one side to the other. There are no second service, so if you first serve goes, then your opponent wins the point. So, a serve must be hit underarm and below the serve waist. No arm serves are allowed. Each game will start with a toss to determine which player will serve first and which side of the court opponent would like to start from. Once the shuttlecock is live, then a player may move around the court as they wish. They are permitted to hit the shuttlecock from out of the playing area. So, if a player touches the net with any part of their body or racket, then it's deemed a fault and their opponent receives the point. A fault is also called if a player deliberately distracts their opponents. The shuttlecock is caught in the racket, then flung. The shuttlecock is hit twice, or if the player continues to infract with the laws of badminton. So, each game is umpired by a referee on a high chair who overlooks the game. There are also line judges to monitor if the shuttlecock lands in or not. The referee has overriding calls, infringement, and faults. So that's all. Thank you, sir.